Have you replayed one conversation 20 different times? Or imagined every possible future until you could not make a single decision? People call it overthinking. But what if overthinking is not your enemy? What if it is simply a powerful tool that has not found its proper use yet? 5,000 years ago, on a battlefield, a warrior froze, not because he lacked skill, but because he lacked courage, because he thought too much. That warrior was Arjuna, and the conversation that followed became the Bhagavad Gita. Today, millions quote it, millions worship it, but I don't think anyone has fully read it. And I definitely don't think anyone has fully understood it. Maybe that is exactly what makes it timeless. Every generation discovers a different Gita. Today, let's see what it says about overthinking. Not as a religious book, not as a psychology textbook, but as a conversation about the human mind. We usually define overthinking as thinking too much. I don't think that is accurate. Overthinking is not thinking, it is wanting to act while simultaneously calculating every possible outcome. You want to start the business, but what if it fails? You want to tell someone how you feel, but what if they reject you? You want to leave the job, but what if the next one is worse? Notice something? The problem is not that your mind is active. The problem is that your body has stopped moving. Your thoughts become trapped in an endless simulation. The Gita begins exactly here. Arjuna is not lazy. He is not weak. He is just overwhelmed by possibilities. He calculates consequences. He imagines guilt. He predicts suffering. And because all of that, he cannot move. That looks surprisingly very modern. Here is something fascinating. Krishna never says stop thinking. He does not say empty your mind. He does not ask Arjuna to become emotionless. Instead, he changes the direction of Arjuna's thinking. The mind asks, what will happen if I lose? Krishna asks, what is your duty in this moment? The mind asks, what if people judge me? Krishna asks, what action is right regardless of the judgment? This is a subtle difference. One focuses on outcomes, the other focuses on actions. Modern psychology has a similar observation. People experiencing anxiety often spend enormous mental energy trying to control uncertain futures. Many therapeutic approaches encourage shifting attention toward what can actually be done now. Not because the future does not matter, but because it cannot be controlled directly. Interestingly, the Gita pointed towards a similar idea thousands of years ago. Perhaps the most misunderstood teaching in the Bhagavad Gita is detachment. Many people hear the word and imagine not caring, not feeling, not loving, almost become like a machine. But that is not what the Gita shows. Detachment does not mean abandoning effort. It means refusing to let your peace depend entirely on the result. There is a famous idea from the Gita. You have a right to action, not to the fruits of the action. People often interpret this as don't expect success. I don't think that is the point. Imagine an archer. If she keeps staring at the scoreboard, her aim becomes worse. The scoreboard always matters, but only after the arrow leaves the bow. Until then, her entire attention belongs to the shot. Detachment is not giving up the ambition, it is protecting your attention. Overthinking happens when our attention leaves today's action and starts living inside tomorrow's uncertainty. One reason overthinking hurts so much is because we believe there exists one perfect decision, the perfect career, the perfect relationship, the perfect city, the perfect timing. But life rarely offers perfect imagination. The Gita seems less interest in the perfect choices and more interest in clear intention. Ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from clarity? Am I avoiding discomfort or avoiding responsibility? Those questions don't guarantee success, but they reduce mental noise. Psychologists sometimes call this reducing cognitive overload. The Gita approaches it differently. It asks whether your decisions align with your deeper nature rather than your temporary emotions. Different language, surprisingly similar reaction. Now, here is where I slightly disagree with how overthinking is usually discussed online. Everyone wants to eliminate it, silence it, destroy it. Maybe that is impossible. Maybe overthinking does not disappear. Maybe it's simply a tool that you have not learned to use. Think about engineers, scientists, chess players, filmmakers, writers. Their work depends on the imagining possibilities. The same mental engine that creates anxiety also creates innovation. The difference is not the engine, it is who driving it. When thought serves action, it becomes intelligence. When action serves thought, it becomes paralysis. Perhaps the goal is not having fewer thoughts. Perhaps the goal is knowing when thinking has finished its job. Whether you believe the Bhagavad Gita is history, philosophy, or scripture, it continues to survive because it refuses simple answers. Every time people think they have understood it, another generation finds a new meaning, and that is very rare. Books usually become outdated, their conversation has not. Maybe because human beings have not changed as much as technology has. We still fear failure, we still compare ourselves, we still hesitate before difficult choices. We still stand on our own battlefields, most of them visible. So, what does the Bhagavad Gita teach about overthinking? Not that thinking is bad, not that emotions should disappear, not that success does not matter. It teaches something quieter. Think deeply, act clearly, and don't let your peace become hostage to outcomes you cannot control. Maybe overthinking is not a flaw, maybe it is unused potential, a sharp knife left inside its cover. Useful only when you know when to stop serving it and finally begin cutting. Because in the end, life is not changed by the thoughts we endlessly repeat, it is changed by the actions those thoughts eventually become. So, what do you think? Is overthinking something to eliminate or something to learn to use? Let me know in the comments.